Alright, so today is 6th of August 2015, Thursday. Let's look at the economic data that came out today. The main one was the Bank of England rate and the inflation report and bank rate votes. So they kept the rate at 0.5%, but the voting has changed. So one member voted for rate rise and 8 members voted to keep the rate the same. The expectation was for 2 members to vote for rate hike, but only 1. So this may be one reason why pound fell down today. In the previous month, all the 9 members voted to keep the rate the same. And the other reason why pound fell down today was the comment from Governor Mark Carney when all these announcements were made that the rate hike is coming soon, but we cannot predict when that would happen because that would be data dependent. And there were some other news for pound as well. For example, manufacturing production and industrial production. So this came out negative. So this is bad news for pound. And there was one more. Halifax House Price Index came out at minus 0.6%. So this is bad news for pound. So I think in general, all this news caused pound to fall down today. So for example, pound dollar dropped today, I think by around 100 pips. But if you look at the big picture, it's still stagnating around the moving averages, so I think that's fine. So it doesn't really start to form a downtrend as such. So it will be interesting to see how non-farm payroll that will come out tomorrow will affect this tomorrow at 1:30 p.m. And I think across the board pound depreciated against its counterpart. So pound yen fell down, pound Canadian fell down as well, and pound Aussie fell down too, but not by so much. And other news, there were some news for Aussie, I think. So Aussie unemployment rate came at 6.3%, so more than the previous month and the forecasted. So this is bad for Aussie, but I didn't see much movement in Aussie dollar as such. So I think this further movement will depend on the non-farm payroll that will come out tomorrow again for US dollar. There was one more, yes, the unemployment claims for USD, it stayed around the same, so this didn't have much effect on the dollar movement today. So tomorrow, as we discussed, the main one would be the non-farm payroll and the average hourly earnings. If this is, I think this is one data point that Fed looks at. The earnings would increase for the Americans. There's unemployment rate for Canadian coming out, but that is fine. Important thing to watch would be the non-farm payroll. The forecast is for 220k, but the ADP one that came out on Wednesday was at 185k, which is less than 200k. So my experience has been the number that will come out tomorrow will be around the same mark around this region. So let's see. Sometimes there could be surprises. And I think those are the important ones from today. Let's take a quick look at take a sweep. So here we go again. So sterling falls after dovish MPC vote. Sterling slumps after BOE dovishness. Gilt jump. So gilt is the UK government bonds, like US Treasury. So it looks like they move opposite the pound, the currency and the bond market. So if the central bank is dovish about a rate rise, the currency falls while the bond market rises. Oil, I think, was still falling down, I remember. So US oil is falling down today, and so this is the crude, and UK oil, which is the Brent, is falling down and it's below 50. Otherwise, the Greek stocks are up, so this is somewhat good news for the Greek people because it has been falling down last 2 days very badly. Another emerging market news, Brazilian real seems to be falling down after spending vote. Why spending vote? Because the international investors, when a country, so if the country's government is spending more, so the expenditure of the government is going to increase, so which is not something, so investors would want cost cutting. So I mean, even if you think of a company that's spending more and more, I think that won't be very attractive to investors. But if a company is doing cost cutting, that would be attractive to investors. So similarly for a country, if it's trying to go towards a spending spree, that's not really good news for international investors, and they would show their opinion in the currency of the country, which is by selling the country's currencies. When they sell the country's currencies, the currency will depreciate. Russian ruble is still falling, so I think that's because the oil price is still falling. It's another one for the pound fall today. So here we go again. So the market were expecting 2 votes for a rate rise, but only 1 vote for a rate rise. So hence, it seems like the market had not priced in this this thing, so it moved. I think those are the, so one currency to watch is the dollar yen. So dollar yen is around the high, around around 125. So the high reached in June beginning, and then it reached around almost 126 around the mid of beginning of May. So tomorrow, if the non-farm payroll comes out good, then dollar will appreciate. So it will be interesting to watch if this takes out this. I somehow doubt it will spike that much. I think those are the important ones from today. So let's wind up for today, and we'll come back tomorrow.